Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay, let's see what we got today. Jump over to scan. What I got so far on the scans, we got EVTV, we got ATON, SPRC, IOTR, and PMAX. That's what we got on the micro floats. EVTV is leading in volume, but in percent gain, ATON is up 121%. SPRC only up 54%, but they're all around that same kind of volume level. So look around on the non-float or the non-micros. We have ASST up 3%, HGBL up 13%, and Intel up 3%, and up 21%. Now these, if you look at the volume is way lower. The top volume is almost 3 million over here, and then we have 10 million on all of these. So this is where the focus is. So let's go ahead and look down and see what's going on with these stocks this morning. Before we do that though, yesterday EVTV was the blessed one that we traded, and it was blessing all day. It was something that we looked at in pre-market. It was right along the lines of the current trading environment. Let's go to my notes over here, tools, and this was the notes that we had, AI infrastructure from yesterday. So EVTV hit almost every single pick that we wanted to see, that we had seen over the last couple of weeks. One, it was U.S. government contracts was in their catalyst. Another one was it was a Taiwanese company that was working alongside them, so semiconductors. And then we had AI infrastructure as well. Those three catalysts created a massive storm yesterday. So let me go ahead and notate BTV out here. So, EVTV, and then I'll notate on it. It was U.S. government contract. It also had AI infrastructure. And it had its Taiwanese company. Okay. Good morning, Hebrew. Semiconductors. Save that. Okay. So yeah, that's the note that I'm gonna leave there. It had everything right there. US government contracts, AI infrastructure, and it was a Taiwanese company working alongside them. So yesterday was a beautiful trading day for sure on EVTV, and we had looked at this one in pre-market. I missed this entire move. All of this from 1 up to 45 cents up to $1.19. And then I never did find I won't say I never did find. This is where I started to see a uptrend, but I did not have a true downtrend to go off of. So I did not take this trade down here at the 106, and it went all the way up here to the 179s. And once it started making this, I had a little bit of an uptrend to play off of. It came down here to this level here and started to form an uptrend. And this was my first trade, going from 145 up here to about 160. Okay. And then if we keep going, I ended up getting stopped out right here at the 150. This is a 150 drop. and I saw another uptrend starting to play. And so I took this one again from 135 up here to 146, but it ran right into that downtrend, and I sold into that downtrend, and then I watched it come on. Well, actually, I took a meeting, and when I came back, it was like right around 130, right around 130, and I saw it going, so I got back in here for the break of this overall downtrend. I ended up selling the rest of what I had, 141 up here to 160 again. I did not expect the rest of this breakout. I didn't get any of this. I didn't get any of this stuff, right? I just watched it. I was like, well, it is what it is. Yesterday, I took more trades than I've taken in a long time. I took 5 trades yesterday, so that was a lot for me. Over here on the trading journal, I did take one loss yesterday. Okay. So here are my trades. EBTV, my first trade was 248 bucks. Got 11 cents off of it. Second trade, I took half the size because I wasn't sure if it was going to continue to play the way I wanted to. But then when I saw it continue to play, I sized back up, and I was just taking those wins like that. So all in all, for the calendar, it's where I sit on the month. So we took one trade, two trade. This was 5 trades, but it was one stock. So it is what it is. Every trade was almost 100 bucks. So it was a nice little mover there. Hold up, give me 1 second. Okay. Right. But yeah, that's how the month is sitting. And so, like I said at the beginning, I'm playing some major defense here in January and especially in December. Both of them, they have been my worst months every single year. So I'm really being very careful with what I take and what I play with. Um, so yeah. And I guess the previous months I wasn't so, or the previous years I wasn't so catalyst focused in the beginning. And seeing that this is coming into earnings season and all of that, I really need good catalysts to work off of. But yeah, that set me up. So the goal was for this month is just not to be red, and if I can get 500 bucks, but got 1,000 there, and we still have all of this week to trade. We have 2 weeks after this, so I think I'm sitting pretty good on the month right now, just not being red. But yeah, that's pretty much it on that. Let's jump back over here, and so EBTV, and this is another thing. After a hot day like that, I'm still gonna follow the same thing that I'm looking for. I want day one catalyst. So EBTV doesn't have day one catalyst today. Let's look through these actually. SPRC had catalyst. Let's see, Spark to acquire Muse. Now this, usually I don't mess with acquisitions and mergers, but EVTV was an exception yesterday. It had too many crossovers. It had the military, it had all this stuff going for it, and it had a stupid amount of volume. Even out of the pre-market, it was like 100 million, almost 200 million. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to take my eyes off this stock. No way, unless they do that shelf that they had, I'm not taking my eyes off of it. So that's what I did all day. Caught almost every dip that was there. Um, but yeah, a ton, no catalyst today. IOTR, no catalyst today. PMAX, I think SPRC was the one that actually had something. Yeah, that was the only one with the acquisition news. All right, so a couple of other ones that people called out yesterday. Now, I don't know how many people traded A-Ton, but I don't know if A-Ton was an aftermarket move. Okay, and it has no, they want this. I'll clean that off. Nvidia was up yesterday as well, so that kind of helped the EVTV, because in Nvidia, of course, AI infrastructure and the GPUs that they're pumping out, it going up and EVT being going up as well, and the overall market going up. Everything was just beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful little hurricane. All right, American Airlines. I don't know why I took that one down as a note. I think what was it? It was something. Some reason I had gotten American Airlines on here. Delta Air. Whatever. I don't know anymore. I had just took a note, seen it. BBAI, nothing there today. Archer, BDSX. I don't really know why everybody was in love with this one yesterday. I saw a lot of people were on this one. It was a earnings, and I was like, nah, I'm good. So I left that one alone, and I focused on the one that had the most volume. And then another one that popped up that people were kind of into was LVLU. That was one that was very low volume, but it did make quite a bit of a move from 7 up to 15. But yeah, I just didn't see any. Oh, it did have catalyst. It was a fashion news, and I don't really do well on I've never traded fashion like that or any kind of fashion earnings or anything like that. Okay. But yeah, let's go ahead and figure out what has catalyst on the day and then where the actual volume is. So SPRC was going up, making major moves here. SPRC making major moves here. Went up here to 239, and it looks like it's going to be leading in volume, so we'll notate that. I don't see any other catalysts on the day, so let's see if SPRC, what is their are they along the lines or the acquisition that they're doing, is it along the lines of what we saw yesterday, military, US, all of that good stuff? SPRC, Spark. First of all, we'll go to their profile. And oh, okay, there it is. Spark, a clinical stage pharmaceutical company, develops drugs based on cannabinoid therapy. So this is cannabis. A little off topic. It's a drug development program, or its drug development programs include Psi 1110 for the treatment of Tourette syndrome and Alzheimer's disease and agitation. Um, it's 210 for the treatment of autism spectrum disorder and status epilepticus. All right, so all right, this is cannabis, Alzheimer's, and all of that. It's a little bit off topic. It came out in 2021. No, it changed its name in 2021. The company was formerly known as Therapix Bioscience Limited and changed its name to SciSparks Limited in January 2021. SciSpark Limited was incorporated in 2004 and is headquartered in Tel Aviv, Israel. So this right here, this Israel right here, tells me everything I need to know. I'm not trading this. All right, let's go ahead and notate Israel. I could just stop there. Okay, next. Do we have any other stocks that are up here? Anything else? So nothing else with Catalyst right now. So I'm just gonna be sitting on my hands. I don't know what this one is. AHMA. 26 up 26%. Does it have no catalyst? Okay. Yeah, okay. So no catalyst on any of these. All right. So this is a hand sitting day until something comes up with day one catalyst. Now I used to try to trade continuations, but I just have seen in my metrics and things like that that continuations usually end up. I'm a little bit too confident on the lows on continuations, and sometimes continuations swing a little bit lower than you would expect, and the recovery may not be that great. Um, so man, I've only traded Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So three trading days this month. Um, I think I was So over this month, looking at my trading journal, a lot of times, I like to come out here and see. So I actually create labels for all of my trades, right? And one label that I continuously see come up and I get profits on is above 10 million in volume. I kind of like to see that liquidity, especially in micro flows. If they're gonna be good, man, a lot of times they get a lot of volume and a lot of attention. I do use ATRs and kind of like to see breaks over ATRs, but definitely that volume, that liquidity, really gappers, yeah, like gappers, Green Day stocks, I like those two. Higher highs, that's talking about off the trend. See, relative standard deviation. So how many standard deviations is it away from the norm? It's kind of relative standard deviation is almost like relative volume. You can pretty much interchange them, whichever one you're more comfortable with. RVOL, RVOL over 5 times what it is. Small caps, structured. So that's a trading on uptrends. So yeah, that's those metrics we've been looking at for this month. But this trading journal definitely has a lot of things that use all of that good stuff. You can create strategies in here. You can do the market replays for um, whatever word I'm looking for. Strategy that you want to back test or whatnot. You can create it in here and then back test it. Pretty cool. Uh, Application. This is TraderSync. The link is in the description for this. Is a paid trading journal. So, but yeah, these are all of my setups that I use here marked up. I literally label every single trade that I take. Um, what kind of variables were in them, and then I can go back and see, hey, how many landed in this section? How many were doing this thing? How many were, moving the way that I wanted to on that day? And what was the market doing? What was the environment? All of these. And then I also have my mistakes here. So all of the mistakes that I've ever made are in here as well. So I pretty much label everything and create tags and all of that, so I can say, hey, let's go look at how many Chinese stocks or what my Chinese stocks trading were doing, or what was, let's say if I was using a specific time frame to enter the 1 minute, 2 minute, 15 minute, whatever. What were the variables of this trade and why did I lose? Same thing with the win. Why did I win? I want to know the why. Long list. What's up, bro? Hand sitting is 7:30. We ain't even seen sunlight yet. You right. And I still have not seen a catalyst yet. So, you know, you know, I be hand sitting. I be hand sitting until I see that day one catalyst come through. We've been having a nice month, sitting on some profits and playing some. Whoa, SPRC. I wonder why that went down. Maybe it's because it's Israeli. I don't know. Let's see. TV. Oh, long list of errors. Did you get some trades on EVTV yesterday? EVTV. No, you probably did, right? Probably did. AHMA is going up, but it just does not have any day one catalyst. And it has a lot of work to do on the volume side as well. But it is the most bullish looking one, so we'll see if anything comes up and takes AHMA out. It's only 3 million shares traded. Has an ATR of $1.26, up 46%. Had a couple wicks back here, and then all of a sudden started making a move out there. Let's go look at what AHMA is. I just want to look at their profile, really. See if they're along the lines of what we saw yesterday. Long list of errors. Did you end up trading EVTV, or have you taken any trades? I know you don't trade that much, but are you swinging something? All right, Ambitions Enterprise Management is the name of this one. LLC engages in tour, travel, and event planning management business in the United Arab Emirates. The company is involved in planning, organization, and execution of various events, including annual meetings, incentives, product launch, conferences, and exhibitions, staff gatherings, guest invitations, event website development, event application advertising, and event management. Okay, so I understand completely why this isn't receiving a lot of volume. This is gonna attract people like that. So yeah, 3 million shares traded. Yeah, that makes sense. Low shares traded on that idea. Plus, I think it's higher float too. Let me look at that float real quick. All right, so the float, so it says the shares outstanding is 10.96, and then the float is 2.02, and it has an 82% held by insiders. Yeah. Go look at that one. We'll see. Probably will reject my order too. Let's see. If I buy on the bid, yep. Yep, it's trash. So the thing that's the most bullish today is not only is it low volume, but it's missing all the TOS traders. So that's a signal. See it probably take some sandals off today and break ankles. X Air just popped up. It just did a round trip. It actually has news on today. It says XTL Biopharmaceuticals acquires. This is another acquisition. They need more than just the acquisition. It's an acquisition though on Xair, and it made a full round trip, so that's not great. All good, man. Just patiently waiting. And the thing that I remember when I used to like not trade. So like I've been more and more just trading catalysts, and so the price of the stock really hasn't really mattered. Before I tried to trade only things above $5. I tried to trade only things above $2. Try to trade only thing, but the biggest common denominator was the catalyst. If it didn't have a catalyst, it was probably gonna lose me money because with the way that I trade, I my hold time. So let's look at each of my hold times over here. So hold time here. So from the beginning, my longest hold time this month was 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and then 7 minutes, then an hour for ALMS. That was a larger float, so I kind of gave it some time to play. EVTV, 15 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 9 minutes was my hold time. So I'm not holding seconds. I'm giving it some time to play on the trend and get going for me. So yeah, I'm the second, trying to trade something that doesn't have a catalyst. I don't have the confidence to hold this long. TV. Okay, but we are looking around. We saw two acquisitions. AHMA getting a whole lot of action. Oh, let's go check if it has a shelf registration. Without a catalyst, this could be the perfect trap for people trying to make the money that they missed from yesterday. So let me go ahead and see if they have a AHMA over here at BAM SEC. Let's see if they got any shelf registrations. Issue registration, free writing. So no shelf registrations on this one. Went up there to a high of 985, but now has 5 million shares traded. If it's going to be the leader on today, if it's going to get the most volume, then it'll be the one that I watch. But it's got a lot of work to do to catch up with even the lowest one on the micro floats, which has 10 million shares traded. EVTV coming on back down to $3. Now EVTV had a shelf registration as well, so I'll be very careful coming into the open without a day one catalyst. It had the catalyst from yesterday, but sometimes when people miss their first day, they're looking for their second day or that continuation, and sometimes it gets a little choppy. Doesn't mean it won't go up. It just is a little bit less sure of itself. Ton. Yeah, Hebrew. Like I said, I just don't have the confidence to hold a stock that doesn't have a catalyst. And you see from my whole time why I'm like, okay, so let's say something doesn't have a catalyst, and I give it 10 minutes going against me with no catalyst, and I'm taking 2,000, 3,000 share. Man, I'm gonna be eating bullets. I'm gonna be eating bullets is what I'm gonna be doing. I look for the irrational sell off on good news. Now, if I was going short, if I was ever to start shorting, I'd be looking for irrational on no news or bad news. I would like to see buyers buying on bad news or no news, and I would be definitely getting involved on that. But on a good catalyst, the rational people are the people that are buying and holding. The irrational people are the ones that are shorting and selling. So I'm looking for those shorts and sellers to be strong on a good catalyst, which means it gets a push down like this. Well, I'm not saying the SPRC has a good catalyst, but I'm saying it gets pushed down irrationally into the depths. I get in, and then, hey, buyers start pushing it back up. Right now, EVTV and SPRC battling back and forth for volume, but I mean, neither one of them looks super bullish. SPRC only up 19%, EVTV only up 23%. Yeah, Hebrew, you ate. I made half of what you made. I was in and out. I just bought the dips and was selling the rips. I really wasn't holding through. And just was like, boop, just taking a little bit, taking a little bit, taking a little bit. Because the ATR started yesterday at 11 cents in pre-market. And I was like, okay, this thing is it can do 11 cent or it can do a little bit of that. I can get some wins off of this one. But then when I got this first trade that was 11 cents, which was the old ATR, I was like, okay, maybe there's a little bit more juice here. And so I started just trying to take profit. I wasn't even really holding for a long time. I was like, oh, there's $100, $100, $100, just stacking it up. Like, man, that's some lunch money right there, man. I can afford real cereal now. Okay, a ton. Let's see, 16 million shares traded. 139. I'm guessing people are going to be looking at this because of that percent gain. It is the biggest gainer. It just doesn't have the most most volume there. We're waiting for that sweet day one catalyst that is not Israeli and is not an acquisition. Or if it is an acquisition, it needs to have, be like something like EVTV where they have multiple layers going into it, maybe some AI catalysts, things like that. But 345. That's the first time you made something in about two. Is that your first trade, or is that just the first time you made something in about 2 weeks? Have you been trading? You've been keeping that risk controlled and nice and in pocket? I've taken about one trade a week though, for sure. What do I see for the next couple of days? On EVTV, as long as they don't pop that shelf registration that they have, it could continue to see some upticks, especially if things like Nvidia or some of the chip makers or any of the things that they had U.S. government contracts and things like that. Any of those keywords pop up, I think that it could circle back. And I actually notated. So in TOS, I always take notes. So why was EVT moving? This was it had a U.S. government contracts, AI infrastructure, and it was Taiwanese company that works closely with semiconductors. So that's what why it was moving. But that went with the previous news that we had back on the 9th and military defense back on the 5th there. So it just kind of went with the overall idea. So I'm gonna continue taking those notes on these and see if it changed, if the topic changes. Maybe we won't see that much, but as long as it stays around this level, I think we can continue to see. Okay, so AHMA, yeah, it's still doing things. It's kind of moving like a Chinese stock, really. In the world over here. Fishing. So this is a Dubai. Dubai. Okay, those Emirates, United Arab Emirates, pushing that thing up. This is a consumer cyclical travel services. 43 employees went from $5 up to $10, and it's blocked on TOS. Up 94% with no catalyst on the day. It matter of fact, it hasn't had catalyst since 12/31. Let me look over here on. It hasn't had catalyst in a while. It's just popping up. People just trying to make some money, man. Yep, the last time it had news was unaudited financial results for 6 months, and that was a month ago. So sometime in December is when it had its last news, but it's up to date for no reason. So if it becomes the leader, I'm gonna be definitely sitting on my hands. 6 million shares traded on it. Nothing else. It's looking super bullish right now. 8 ton gave back what it just tried to get. XR, IOTR, PMAX. Yeah, so this is the most bullish one. So this is gonna be attracting the eyes, but it's I think if people are trying to play Catalyst or trying to see a specific structure, this is going to be a hard one to find a structure on because it keeps breaking out. And so every time it breaks out, it will invalidate and you need to find a new structure here. And it double topped up here at 1069. So little consolidation at 864 and went up to 1070. Okay. We'll watch the most bullish looking one for now until something else to pop up here. It does feel good getting paid for patience, though. It does, though. You wait, I had 3 no trade days yet last week. I was like, man, I missed all of this. I missed 3 days with no real catalyst. And then come in here Monday morning, bam, EVTV, blessing. So the money that I would have probably made trading those 3 days, made in one day. So not mad at that. Matter of fact, the money that I wanted to make on the month, I made in one day. I don't have big goals. Just trying to pay bills. All right, let's see. 1072. Yeah. Because yeah, we used to see catalysts come out every single day, and it was just insane. Just it was so much catalyst you didn't know what to do with the catalyst. It's like this is moving, this is moving, this is moving. But now it's like you'll get a good catalyst, it'll be a couple days. You get another good catalyst, it'll be a couple days. So in that manner, I think it's a colder market. The wait time for the catalyst. But this is also the beginning of the year and earnings season. So we really haven't rolled into heavy earnings season yet, but I think it's coming. So we'll see. I'm not gonna be playing anything on earnings anyway. I want I want to see a company that's actually doing something. But AHMA breaking new lows, came up here to 1073s. Huh. Does Aton have a shelf registration? Freaking like. It does have a shelf registration from it did one in November and December. So Aton definitely has some shelves on the back burner. It's from the British Virgin Islands. I see it on my daily chart over here. British Virgin Islands. Got my notes on the chart, so I can just look back real quick and be like, oh, this one was busting heads right back here. Purchase crypto. So this news was from October. What is 10? October 8th. Tortola, British Islands, purchasing crypto. Then another pop, British Virgin Islands. Then and I just continued to be like, yeah, this is a no trade. This is a no trade. I think I ended up trading it once though. If I'm mistaken. No, it's what it is. Wherever it is. Let's look at the overall market. So on the overall market, we can see that it came up here to the highs, and this, man, all of this upward motion on the market yesterday, absolutely just, this is probably what helped EVTV do what it did. It just ripped up here to the highs, right up into these ATRs, and now it's dipping back down. So I'm not sure what it's going to do today. I'm not seeing any catalyst that I really care about enough to want it to rip again, but yeah, that was a beautiful rip. And this is on a 15 minutes. So this was in 15 minutes, it went from 25.74 at the open and just exploded towards the 26s. Okay. Let's go over here and look at some of the news here. Over here. We have Superorganism raises 25 million to back biodiversity startups. Tesla profits engine is sputtering. Elon Musk has bet his future on the promise he's far from delivering. Cardinal Health raises 2026 profit forecast. Boyd running out of retirement savings. Converge Bio raises 25 million backed by Bessemer. And execs from Meta, OpenAI, see. All eyes on CPI report with Fed drama on a wild card. Let's look into that. Delta beats on Q4 earnings. Oil hit $65 as geopolitical risks swirl from Iran to the Black Sea. Trump's 25% Iran tariff risk upending. U.S.-China trade truce. Jumps as U.S. So L3 Harris jumps as U.S. to invest $1 billion in its rocket motors. Nvidia no upfront payment needed for H2 AI chips. Greenland calls a NATO to ensure defense amid U.S. threats. Okay, so let's look at that CPI AI regulation in 2026. That's like future casting. Trump's DOJ bank sector is hitting this trifecta. Why Exxon is a strong energy sector stock pick. Okay, let's go look at this one. CPI preview. Inflation expected to be muted in December. Old January 13th. Muted in December as economic data gets back on track. The consumer price index for December is set for release Tuesday morning, so that's today. With the data expected to show inflation pressures remain steady in the final month of 2025. Let's see. Here's playing.
To watch, markets are waiting on a key decision from the Supreme Court on the legality of President Trump's tariffs, and Wednesday could be that day. The High Court will release its next opinions then after declining to issue a ruling Friday. Another big focus for investors, the start of earnings season. It's here. Big banks kicking things off to start on Tuesday with JP Morgan Chase ahead of the open. Analysts expecting trading revenue to be up year over year and investment banking fees to rise modestly. Other top bank reports to watch over the course of the week got Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Citigroup, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo. Outside of financials, we're also going to check on the consumer with Delta and a look at the AI trade with Taiwan Semiconductor. We'll also get fresh readings on inflation with both the consumer and producer price indices coming out. Economists see December CPI coming in at 2.7% on overall and core CPI on a year-over-year basis. That data, plus the December jobs report, will be in focus as we get a big batch of Fed commentary throughout the week. There are over a dozen speeches. Expectations for a rate cut we know in January are almost zero, but directionally, investors looking for hints on when the next cut could come. Finally, crypto investors keep an eye on Capitol Hill. 2 markup sessions placed simultaneously on Thursday on crypto market structure legislation.
Okay. Yeah, I think crypto is becoming more and more centralized. The decentralization was cool and all, but when it comes to safety and security and all of these things, it's a hard work. Like if you understand it for yourself and you can do it for yourself, cool. But most people aren't that tech savvy. They just don't know that much about the wallets and the different encryption and how this data is stored. So for it to be decentralized, it's almost like you really need to know what you're doing out there. I mean, it's money can disappear very quickly in the crypto world, especially if it's not secured correctly. Which is one of the reasons why I migrated the majority of my wallets. I had a bunch of wallets, and migrated the majority of them to Coinbase if the coin was on Coinbase. I do still have some open wallets that have crypto that are not on Coinbase, but Coinbase is it's offering the best services, the best rewards, staking rewards for the safety, right? Some of the other wallets and things like that, they don't offer the tax forms and all that stuff. So it's kind of like you have to transfer it over to crypto Coinbase anyway, unless you're just going to keep a ledger of your crypto outside of it. But Coinbase does all of that for you. And so it's kind of just centralizing everything. It's got the safest wallet. And so I'm just like, man, eventually Coinbase may be, the go-to, especially for institutional investors and things like that. It's the safest wallet out there. Some of the other ones claim to be safe, but they just don't have the backing and the money to continue their that claim, like Coinbase. Okay, let me look through. Let me look through here. See if anything new has popped up. A ton popped back up there. Just kind of just playing around. Big wicks. XR. I do see one called BCTX. It has 1 million shares traded. It did a round trip. It went from 7 all the way up to 19 and came back down. It says Bria Cell reports sustained complete resolution of lung metastasis. Okay, so this is not on topic, but this is some news on the day, and it is relatively good news. Only problem is that volume. Only having 1 million shares traded when you have something up here with 32 million like EVTV. This one may get overshadowed, but I would keep it. I would keep it on watch for the next days. But then again, it's gonna need more catalyst. It's gonna need to get day one catalyst. So if it gets overshadowed today, you know, it is what it is. But it does look good with that catalyst. A complete resolution. Well, complete resolution of lung metastasis. Let me think. Resolution is like visualize. Let me see what the resolution they're talking about. They're talking about just viewing the lung cancer. Is that talking about what kind of resolution are they talking about? Let's see. ECTX. Good morning, AJ. We got this new one popping up, BCTX, kind of lower volume, but they're talking about they have some kind of resolution for lung cancer. I'm not sure what that's talking about. Let's see. Okay, so 34 minutes ago, they are talking about visualizing. Okay, so yeah, just seeing the lung cancer, the metastasizing lung cancer there. Images below, 11 months sustained complete resolution. No treatment limiting toxicities. Let's see, clinical stage biopharma. Today announces the durable and sustained complete resolution of lung metastasis in a patient with metastatic breast cancer treated with Bria OTS. So she was treated with this this drug, and they can completely see whatever changes or whatever it is that that is happening inside of this lady with the breast cancer. So this drug, Bria OTS, they have complete resolution. Bria sells personalized off-the-shelf immunotherapy. The patient is hormone receptor positive, HR plus, HER2 negative. First patient enrolled was a 78-year-old woman with advanced metastatic breast cancer and multiple prior treatment failures. Achieved complete 100% resolution of lung metastasis following 4 doses of Bria OTS single agent therapy. Complete response initially observed at 2 months was sequentially confirmed at 4 months, 6 months, and now 11 months. The patient received 17 cycles of Bria OTS. Figure 1, the treatment resulted in 100%. Okay, they keep saying that. Boom. Pre-treatment. So we can see start 2 months. Oh wow, it just disappeared. That spot right there kind of disappeared there. Yeah, disappeared, and these look like kidneys down here. So these are, oh, this is just different types. Okay, so this is breast cancer. That spot definitely disappeared. Once 2 months of treatment and the whole spot's gone. Interesting. Okay. Well, they are caring for the breast cancer patients there. The phase 1 dose escalation. So where are they at? This is phase 1, phase 2. So we want to see them get closer to a phase 3 on this. This is like the beginning stages. So clinical trials and all that. They haven't done all the FDA rigmarole. But oh, looking back over here, I didn't even see it moving up. Looking back over here, BTCX. But I mean, that's good news. They just need to get closer to the final phases, the final form of this. But it went up to 19, came back down. That spot's definitely gone from what they were showing there on the image. Only what 2 million shares traded, coming up to 2 million shares traded. AHMA probably isn't going to compete with BCTX for too long because that catalyst, but we'll see. EVTV continues to just kind of go sideways. A ton, 29 million. Yeah, I'm thinking the ones with catalysts, or I mean, yeah, the ones with catalysts are going to get overshadowed today. But I'm still going to look at the ones with catalysts for trades today. BCTX could give opportunities. We'll see. Let me go look at the profile on BCTX and take some notes here. Oh, it's blocked? Oh, man. Let me try it. Oh. Well, the two stocks that were bullish. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. Well, must be something we don't know. Let's go see if they have any shelf registrations on BCTX. Blocked, man. Okay, free writing, registration, draft registration statement. Don't see any shelves, but it is what it is. Where are they from? Where are they located? Is this a Chinese sale? Well, oh, this is a Canadian stock. Yeah, I've been seeing them block more Canadian stocks too. At first, it was just Chinese stocks, and then Canadian, and then I'm pretty sure they're gonna block Israeli stocks after a while too, because all three of those are ones that I avoid anyway. They're all trash. All right, but yeah. So basically, the things that we can trade are continuation, and the things that we can't trade that have catalysts are blocked. So I think they're sending me a message. I think they're sending me a message to just sit down and chill. Let's go to work like it's a regular day, you know? Oh, well, I will probably be doing like most days like this where I don't find any trades. Maybe I could do some research on dividends or something like that. There's always something to do. But I'll just go and do something like that. UAVS, why are you popping up here? What is wrong with you? UAVS, Eagle. So remember UAVS from a couple of weeks ago, was one that we traded for a pretty good amount of money. Eagle NXT supplies drones to NATO forces in Europe. Okay, so UAVS popping up there, up 16%. Not a super big mover. And we'll see what ends up happening there. Is it going to become something to play today? And is this catalyst? It is, yeah. So let's look into this catalyst. This is a little bit more interesting, and plus it's along the topic. You remember, if we look back at my notes, UAVS was the one that was moving on the second here, space, military, and all of that stuff, right? USVS. And I probably should add that here. UAVS. All right, UAVS was the one that was. Wait, I put that on the wrong one. That's December. My bad. Gotta trade UAVS. That was on the second. Okay. I guess the one that we saw was. Okay. All right, so we'll see what UAVS is up to. Up there with 2 million shares traded. It's got a lot of competition on the board. The only problem is it follows the market pretty heavy, and the market had a pretty big move yesterday. So if the market starts going down, I would be very, I don't know if I would trust it. Plus it just doesn't have that big move that it had on the first time. I think it was up like 100 something percent or something like that. I forgot what the percentages were. But yeah, I'm not sure about that one. But it is up there, and it does have a catalyst. So let's just do one more swing through, see what actually had catalyst on this morning. SPCR, SPRC. We know that one was Israeli, so we don't want that. XAir did have a catalyst for it's receiving some money. Acquires 85% of Beyond. So that's an acquisition. Let me add that note. Acquisition. Okay. It's acquisition on XAir. IOTR. Emax. ECTX coming on back down. AHMA. Okay. So for this pre-market, I have not found anything that I'm just in love with. See anything that I'm like, oh man, I gotta trade that. But UAVS. UAVS is interesting. I'm gonna look at that 20 million shares. I mean at 20% level. So that might be one that I watch during the day just to see what it wants to do. And I also need to look into in this Covil Force acquire advanced unmanned systems to support ongoing mission maintaining regional stability. Let's go look into this. ABS. All right, Eagle Area Systems doing business. Oh no, we already looked at all that. Need to look at the Qs. 14 minutes ago. Eagle NXT supplies drones to NATO forces in Europe. Aerial systems. The leading provider of advanced drone and aerial imaging solutions today announces the sale of 2 EB Vision unmanned aerial systems to NATO-led Kosovo force. The EB Vision is a lightweight, fixed-wing unmanned aircraft employed by allied forces around the globe. It's used a lot. They sold 2. I wonder how much they made. How much are these? With up to 90 minutes of flight endurance. A 12-mile wireless range. So you have to be within 12 miles of wherever the guessing they had some kind of ground unit. Is a blue USA or UAS cleared by the US Department of Defense, equipping NATO's long-standing peace support operation. Our proven EB Vision systems helps allied forces operate more efficiently, effectively, and all that good stuff. Okay, we'll see. I'll keep it on watch. It's not one that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I've traded it before. I think it is a little bit higher float, if I'm mistaken. Statistics. Shares outstanding 43 million. Yeah, there. Yeah, a little bit higher float, but not a crazy high amount. We'll see how it competes on the day. I'll keep my eyes on it, but it's definitely not leading the day in volume right now. We need to see EVTV fall 8 times. We need to see all of these other ones fall, which is very unlikely. A-ton came back down to earth. AJ said he sold half of his EVTV shares. Missed the combo on EVT. Yeah. Oh, you're still holding from 97 cents. Oh boy. Well, yeah, You definitely got blessed on that hold. I just played it on the way up. Okay. Xair, what are you doing down here? 29 million shares traded. Yeah, I think today the shorts may come back in a little angry. I'll be very careful. If there's no catalyst or it's like just weak news, I'll be very careful on some of these. XAIR is one of those. All right, but anyway, I'm about to I didn't really see anything that I really liked. If I see anything gaining traction like UAVS, I will let you guys know in the Discord. Other than that, I'm really just not seeing a whole lot. I'm probably just gonna go regular day, just probably do a little bit of dividend shopping and get on down and see what comes Wednesday. Now we do have a couple of speakers today or this week for sure. Let's see. This today is the 14th, 13th. Okay, so tomorrow, Wednesday, we have regulations, the supply side, and monetary policy. Well, matter of fact, the rest of this week we have speakers. A lot of speakers. And we have CPI coming out too. So a lot of things can change in the market. So be careful and be aware of the market environment. Because you don't want to be trading and then you're like, oh man, they just said XYZ about, and then it drops or makes the market rip. I don't know. It can go either way. Then Monday we have Martin Luther King's birthday on the Monday the 19th. So all the statistical releases will come out on January 20th. Let's see what else we got. That looks like much it for the month. This week is just a hot week, so I'll be very careful, especially tomorrow, what they end up saying. But yeah, no rush trading, just taking our time. And if there's nothing to trade, you can always just jump into a stream or jump into whatever else and just talk to other traders and see what they're thinking about the market. Visit some discords or whatnot. I jump all around. I'm everywhere. So it is what it is. But I just like to learn different ideas, what's going on in the market, and where I can put my strategy to work. It's not so much to like learn a strategy from someone else, but it's more about like, okay, how do you see the market right now? How do you see these tickers? Because we can all attack together, which is kind of how a real professional pod would attack. You find the main stock, everybody implements their strategy on it. So you got some people doing breakout trades. They may get burned up, but then you may have some people buying lows and selling highs, right? Like yesterday with EVTV, the team that was buying lows and selling highs would have made quite a bit of money. You know what I'm saying? The breakout traders probably would have got a little cooked, but it's not about that. It's about the team. What's the team doing? Did the overall team? Because some days the breakouts may be working and the dips are crazy. Dips burn people up. So different people with those different strategies do better on different days. But they all trade the same stock, the most obvious stock. XTLB, what are you doing up here? What are you? XTLB popped up here, 79 cents. I'm not sure about this one. Subsidiary massive autism market. Oh, that's an acquisition. That's another acquisition. Okay. Acquire 85% of Beyond Airs. Okay. So they're just, I thought I saw that thought I saw that news somewhere else. Oh, Beyond Air is up here. Okay. XAir and XTLB. Those are the two doing the acquisition. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'm about to jump off of here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow on pre-market, see how people are sitting. Are they sitting on their hands? Will something with pretty good catalyst pop out? If I can find anything today, I'm not really trying to risk everything because I already took a good trade on this week, and pretty much it's just defensive trading for this month. Like I said at the beginning, December and January have been the worst months of every year for me, and I pretty much have to recoup December and January. But this time, being more catalyst focused during December ended very well, and now being more catalyst focused during January has set me. Now it hasn't ended yet, so I can't say yeah this has gone very well. So we're kind of waiting to the end of the month to see where I sit. But that's pretty much it. And as always, appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.